Good morning, everybody. First day of the video. Just so you know, I've worked with over hundreds of people. A lot of them are millionaires, self-made entrepreneurs, ultra high net worth families, people who have built $10 million, $50 million, $100 million businesses from zero, from scratch. And here is what I noticed. None of them wake up whenever they feel like it. Every single one protects the first hour like it's worth more than their entire day. Because it is. The difference between someone who earns 10,000 or someone who earns 100,000, someone who earns 10 millions. The difference is not intelligence, it's the connection. It's not luck. It's what they do between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. while you are still negotiating with the alarm. My name is Rudrayan. Let me tell you something. You already know you should wake up early. You have read books. You have seen it on Instagram posts. You have tried it. You lasted 3 days, maybe a week. Then you collapsed back into your own pattern. Waking up at 8, sometimes at 9, sometimes at 11. Check your phone immediately. WhatsApp, emails, Instagram, news. 30 minutes gone before you have taken a conscious breath. Perhaps probably not even taken a conscious breath for the entire day. I've seen humans doing those things as well. You feel behind, you feel guilty, you feel reactive. The entire day is spent responding. Responding to other people's email, other people's problems, other people's urgency. By evening, you are exhausted. Not from building your own empire, perhaps what you probably dream of every single day, but from maintaining someone else's. And you promise yourself, tomorrow I will wake up early. But tomorrow never comes. Because you think it's about discipline. It's not. Let me tell you, here is your actual problem. You wake up and immediately contaminate your consciousness. Within 5 minutes of opening your eyes, you have absorbed someone else's crisis, someone else's opinions, someone else's anxiety, someone else's agenda. Your nervous system is now reactive. You're no longer creating. You are responding. And you spend the entire day like this, putting out fires, reacting to urgency, executing other people's priorities. You go to bed exhausted. And you wonder why your income hasn't changed in last 3 years. Or for some, it's probably more. Because your mornings haven't changed in the last 3 years. You don't control your first hour. So someone else controls the entire day. Let's go deeper into this. The internal problem runs deeper. You have lost access to your own creative power. And here is what I mean, so you understand from a millionaire's point of view. Every human being has 60 to 90-minute window after waking where their consciousness is uncontaminated. Your subconscious is still accessible. Your energy is still yours. This is when the biggest decisions get made. This is when the best ideas arrive. This is when clarity exists. But you check Instagram. And the moment you do, you hand over your power to someone else. You become a consumer, not a creator. And consumers don't build wealth. Consumers don't build businesses. Consumers don't build anything. They just react to what someone else created at 6 a.m. That's why you feel powerless. Because you are. You gave your power away in the first 5 minutes. What does this do to your psychology? Let's get into that. Let me tell you what no one else is telling you. The reason most people start work at 9 or 10 is not random. It is designed. By the time you get to your desk, your consciousness is already fragmented. You have read the news. You have scrolled the social media. You have absorbed anxiety. Now you are a worker, not a builder. The wealth don't operate like this. I've been in rooms, in boardrooms, with people who control billions, sat across the table from entrepreneurs who build generational empires, advised families with assets most people can't even conceptualize. And here is the pattern. Here is the pattern. Every single one of them protects 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Not because they are disciplined, because they understand that creation happens in a specific state of consciousness. And that state only exists when your mind is still, uncontaminated, and open. The state exists naturally in the morning, before the world's noise enters you, before your phone trains you to react, before your consciousness fragments into 1,000 directions. Billionaires access this without thinking about it. You don't access it because no one taught you it exists. I'm teaching you now, so you know. Let me tell you who I am. My name is Rudrayan. I live in Australia and I run multiple businesses. I have a beautiful family. I live in the modern world just like you. But I also carry something most people don't. I have spent the last decade working with ultra high net worth individuals. Advising them, building with them, watching what actually creates wealth. What actually creates wealth versus what people think creates wealth. And I noticed a pattern. Actually, I noticed patterns. Patterns in how they structure their morning. Patterns in how they protect their consciousness. Patterns in how they make decisions. And I realized something which is very common. These patterns can be taught. They are not genetic. They are not luck. They are mechanisms. So I build a system. I call it the code. 9 pillars that create the architecture billionaires live inside without realizing it. Why am I doing this? Because I believe everyone deserves wisdom to unlock their millionaire self. Some days I teach, some days I demonstrate, some days I answer your questions. But every video has one purpose: to install the structure that turns consciousness into capital. Here is what we will cover. Because these days everyone wants to know what are they going to get out of the time that they spent. Here. The uncontaminated hours of wisdom. Why your consciousness between 5 and 7 a.m. is worth more than the entire rest of your day. And how to protect it mechanically. What I learned from these hundreds of millennials, the exact rituals they follow, the things they will never negotiate on, the non negotiables, the morning architecture that creates clarity, energy, and decisions speed. I have created 9 pillars of power: authority, physical, dominance, self respect, humility, integrity, emotional sovereignty, focus, nervous system mastery, mental precision. These are not motivational concepts. These are structural pillars. I've built this into a system called the Code of Living. 7 modules, one for each pillar system. I will introduce them over the coming weeks. Why biology matters. Cortisol, testosterone, brain waves, circadian clock, rhythms. The science of why mornings work. Not theory, mechanics. The consciousness to capital path. How uncontaminated consciousness creates ideas. How ideas create decisions. And very importantly, how decisions creates wealth. This is not philosophy. This is operational system behind every empire I have ever worked with. Why most people fail. Phone, addiction, reactive patterns, contaminated mornings. We are going to eliminate them systematically. This is not a podcast you listen to while scrolling. This is a protocol you follow. You wake up, you wash your face, you press play, you do what I teach, and within 21 days, your mornings are going to be extremely different. Within 90 days, your income starts moving. It is that easy. Here is what I need from you though. Excuse me. Set your alarm for 5:50 a.m. Be here at 6 a.m. tomorrow, not 6:30, not whenever you wake up. 6 a.m. sharp. This only works if you are consistent. If you miss days, you miss the compound effect. And anyone who knows wealth knows the effect of compounding. The 0600 protocol is not a one-time lesson. It's a daily transmission. I show up every day at 6 a.m. You show up every day at 6 a.m. And together we install a structure. If you don't do this, here is what continues. Scattered mornings, reactive days, stagnant income. You will keep wondering why lucky people get opportunities and you don't. Without knowing that they are not lucky, they are awake. They create before you react. They build while you scroll. And the difference compounds into millions over decades. We are here not talking about income, we are talking about wealth. You will never see it because you'll still be hitting snooze. However, if you commit, if you protect your mornings for the next 90 days, this is what happens. You stop negotiating with your alarm. Very first thing. You wake at 5:50 a.m. same time every day. You don't touch your phone. You practice what I teach. By 6:30, your consciousness is clear. By 7:30, you have already created something. By 9 a.m., while everyone else is just waking up, you have already won. And that feeling, ladies and gentlemen, the feeling of winning before the world wakes up, becomes who you are. It's not poetic. You stop needing motivation because you have momentum. And momentum is more powerful than motivation will ever be. People will notice this. Your decisions are going to be faster. Your energy is going to be different. Your speech is going to be a lot clearer. Not because you changed. No, not because you changed. But only because you stopped contaminating yourself. An uncontaminated consciousness is extremely powerful. It's raw, it's undeniable, and it's unstoppable. This is what every millionaire I have worked with understands. This is what I'm going to teach you. This is the 0600 protocol, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow at 6 a.m., we start with the foundation. Pillar number 1 is going to be conquer the sun. The exact morning ritual that protects consciousness and creates authority. Step by step. Nothing complicated. Just structure. So set your alarm, be here. 6 a.m. Don't negotiate. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't negotiate with your alarms. This is how sovereignty begins. My name is Ruth Ryan, and I shall see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. This is 0600 protocol, ladies and gentlemen. This is not an advice. This is the code of living. See you at 6.